ケイさ
ラーリさん、
元気ですか？
はい、元気です。
いいね。
いいですね。ラーリさんはどうですか？
メラ。
パメラさんですね。
そうですね。
aka Texas Nella.
う
ああ、
ん。
そうですか。いいですね。By the way,
My
So,
Patrick
mother didn't
さん、
even know me online when she was alive. She says, I wonder who this Mela Dosler is. And I'm like, that's me.
I've seen the name Mela, and they must be all Pamelas, right?
I don't know. I didn't know about it until I was in my 30s. I would have switched my nickname. Too
So,
late
Patrick,
now.
you didn't really recognize Mela was Pamela, right?
no, I thought it was someone else. I was like, who's this new person?
Yeah. I'm totally new today. Refabricated Pam as Mela.
Nice.
So, actually, when I figured it out, Mela is actually Pamela. Pamela. I
I
was so
usually
proud.
give when I'm at a restaurant or pick up food, I'm always Mel because I can hear that. Pam is a horrible name to leave because people call you Kim or something else.
Oh,
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. When I figured it out, it was actually Pamela. I was so proud of myself.
Oh,
Like it once in a while, I just kind of figure out things about English
mm.
and like things that only like you would know if you've been speaking it for a while, or like only natives
part of the
would
culture.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
So
yeah. It's funny. My sister is Patricia, and she always went by Trisha, but it never
Mm.
occurred to me to go by Mela.
That
I
would be
see.
like me going by Rick.
Right, exactly, exactly.
I would, I think it's weird that my name is just two names put
Put
together.
together.
Yeah, it's weird. I would never
Yeah.
go by Rick. That's something I realized recently too. I think my girlfriend's mom called me Ricky or something one time, and I was like,
Oh,
and I realized I was like, I guess my name is just two names put together. It's kind of weird.
oh man.
Can Richard be Rick too? Ricky?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
That's
Also,
more common,
Dick.
right? Yeah,
Dick
Dick.
is a,
Yep.
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
That I don't really understand how it
It's
changes.
just, it's just a common thing. And like lots of people who are John go by Jack.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. It's just like you
Yeah.
got to know, or it's
There's
just passed down. Maybe you can look it up online these days, but
Yeah.
common
yeah.
nicknames.
Yeah, they seem old. Like
Yes,
James going by Jim or Jimmy.
Yeah.
exactly.
I think the
Yeah.
the older the name, because I have an uncle, like nobody anymore is named Dick. No one's naming their kid
Right.
Dick. I
Nope.
have an uncle Dick, and they yeah, like all of those names, and it's like, yeah, Bob goes by or Robert goes by Bob,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
all older names. I think there was something, it was something that happened
Yeah.
generations ago that kind of
Yeah.
led to that. That's my
Yeah.
guess.
Robert and Bob I can kind of see that how that's changed.
Hmm.
But um Richard to Dick or Rick. Rick maybe, yeah. But
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
We're gonna have
John
to
to
make up
Jack,
nicknames
I'm not
for you,
sure.
Koski.
Yeah. I've never really had a nickname growing up. Yeah.
Are there nicknames in Japanese?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so a lot of people they take kazu something is a very common pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes like a cause some people like call me like a cause san,
Mm.
cause kun, cause
Mm-mm-mm.
chan.
Mm-hmm.
But that I haven't really had people call me with that a lot. So, some people don't really get the nicknames. I was one of them.
Mm.
Yeah. I've always been just, people called me Koski.
Mm.
Yeah. But when I was in my grade school, I don't know about you guys, but maybe, Pam, I feel like, I have a feeling that Patrick might have gone through it too, but our nicknames are crazy. When I was in grade school, I remember a boy older than me. His name was Bean.
Bean?
Bean.
Yeah, Mame is Bean. That was his nickname. So everyone called him Mame.
Mm.
And probably most of us didn't really know his real name. He was always Mame. He was always Bean. Like people had a lot of nicknames like that, and I feel like back then we had like more nicknames like that.
Not bullying kind of things, but
right. Not just using the person's
Right.
names, and
yeah, you
So-
gave me one, Koski.
oh,
I
right.
had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowdy is, I think one other person's called me that
What
in
is it? Rowdy.
Rowdy.
Because Patrick is Patrick Rowdy, right? It
Yeah.
sounds like rowdy, and then
Yeah.
like his personality is like super rowdy. So it just makes sense,
Yeah, it fits. It is fitting.
Yeah, and just adding son to it, or like a rowdy son, just kind of
Yep.
like rolls around on the tongue.
Adorable.
And exactly. That's the whole point. Like extra rowdy, please. And like before, every time he got on the Zoom, he just his signature, whatever you call it, would be just a P, a little P. So I used to call him P son.
True.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I think like nicknames are like really endearing. Yeah. I feel like it kind of brings people together a little bit closer.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick has led to a lot of them, from Pat to Patricia, Patty Cakes, all kinds of it's almost never ending, the nicknames that I've gotten over the years.
Yeah. Pam knows one of the students that I used to teach. His name is Nana. He's African. He's Ghanaian. So his name is Nana. Yeah. And of course, you guys know what Nana means. Yeah.
That's fun.
It's 7, actually.
7.
Not 9. It starts with Na, N. But yeah, I know it's kind of tricky. And Nana is such a sweet guy. And it's really easy to like him, right? So I always call him and he's like taking Japanese. It's like ridiculous. So I always call him, my favorite number 7.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, okay. So, you guys didn't have homework last week, right?
Oh, thank God, because I was like, where is it?
Yeah, it's not there. It's not there. So, yeah, that was my cue for you to be extra rowdy last week.
Yeah. No homework. I'm getting rowdy.
So, I actually have some things prepared for you. So if you go to today's notes and under 今週の質問, you see have done, present, past, perfect. And we briefly talked about this last week. So,
質問してもいい？
もちろんです。
Before a couple of classes ago, or maybe last month at some point, you explained how to say you can rely on someone for doing that. It's like a consistent thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Relying on someone?
Or someone's reliable. Like in a
Oh, yeah,
behavioral
yeah.
way. Do you?
You're probably talking about Sasuga.
Yes, yeah,
Hi,
yeah,
hi,
yeah, yeah,
hi.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you said I had something prepared for you, and that came to my head.
Oh, that's
Sasuke
excellent.
sa.
Ah, okay.
Okay, thank
So,
you, thank you. I just want to remember that.
okay.
Sasuga.
So here it is. It's at the, yeah, why don't we have it at the top? So
As one would
Sasuga,
expect. Naturally, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Sasuga.
often as a compliment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that kanji stream and rock
Yeah, flow and stone.
stone.
Yeah. It's almost like Rolling Stone or something. Yeah, maybe not. Sasuga. Yeah.
Sasuga no.
Yes, you can say that. Sasuga no Kazuki-san. You can say that. You can also say Sasuga Kazuki-san.
うん。
Yeah.
ありがとうございました。
はい。
I like that one.
Yeah, it gets used often.
Oh, how cool. You've got a link to the have done.
Yeah.
Present, past,
Yeah.
perfect. Easier
I'm
for me.
prepared today.
Wow.
Because
Yeah,
I wanted
I'm
to hear
busy.
Sasuga from you guys. If I wasn't prepared, no one would say Sasuga. Okay. Let's see. So you can look at that, and maybe I should open it too. Oh yeah, I actually updated this. Yeah, and I also updated the JFD2 draft for the plain form.
うん。
Yeah, so it's the second draft. So it starts with 2 JFD2 chapter 1, I think. I think that's how I named it. But if you open it, it'll look pretty different. Yeah, you guys
Wow.
can look at it later. Yeah, it's much more compact, but it contains a lot more. It's much more dense.
Oh,
And
no.
I hope, but I hope it's not really like hard to like
Right.
see, you know. Yeah. I think I figured out a way to make it look
It's an
like
improvement,
easy.
you think?
I think so. But you guys tell me. You guys are much better at judging from the one who made it, right? Okay. Probably right now is a good time to share the screen. Google Chrome, here, share. Okay, so this is what we're looking at, right? Present and the past perfect. So basically have done something. I've done something before. That's what it is. And past perfect is had done something before. Yeah. So we can just focus on present perfect, have done something. And so this one, before we get into it, translate the word koto as occasional experience. And it's gonna, yeah, it might be actually easier. So have done something before. If as a question, maybe it's like, have you ever done something, right? So that's that type of stuff. So how do you make that is plain past verb plus koto ga aru. So the question people often ask people is, have you ever been to Japan? So the verb is, what is it, you guys?
Iku.
Iku. Yeah, iku changes to itta, right? Yeah. So then the plain past. Then you add koto ga aru. Now, let's take a quick look at that. Aru is there is, or you can even say there is, or you have something. Now go back from the end. I have what? Experience on occasion that I went to Japan.
Mm.
And the occasion can also be plural. I have occasions that I went to Japan. Then I've been to Japan more than once. So if you look at it like that, I think it helps you that to remember that the verb conjugation before the koto ga aru needs to be the past tense.
Mm.
Yeah. Because if you change this to plain present verb, then it changes the meaning entirely. Yeah. And that's used too. So, Patrick-san, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, what would I was curious what the plain present
Oh,
would be.
the curiosity of
Me too.
Rowdy-san there.
Glad you asked the question.
Yeah, I'm not glad. Half kidding. But I will, let's see.
All right. All right.
Yeah. The idea is still the same. Koto ga aru. Present, affirmative or negative. Sentence plus koto ga aru. So I have some occasions that I do whatever.
Mm.
So
Did I go to
Nihon ni
Japan?
iku, that's present tense, right? I have some occasions that I go to Japan, meaning sometimes I go to Japan. Literally, there are times.
Mm.
Yeah.
Once or twice a year, some kind of recurring, but on a
Yep.
broader
Yeah.
scale.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So when you translate it like directly, I think it helps you remember. So now I'm actually glad that Patrick-san asked me. Anyways, let's go back to have done. And so koto ga aru. And people, when they ask, have you ever been to Japan before? Have you ever been to Japan? Do you know the question?
日本に行ったことがありますか?
Yeah, that's it. So aru is I have, right? So if you want to say, no, I haven't. I've never done that before. Change the aru to I don't have it. There isn't.
Mm.
So negative is just changing that. So do you know how to say I've never been to Japan?
日本に行ったことがない。
Exactly. 日本に行ったことがない. You can add this. 日本に行ったことがないです. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh.
So, what kind of sentences do I have today?
Still in the
Okay.
past.
So what?
It's still in the past that you haven't done it. Because you
Yeah.
haven't done something, it's like, well, there is an occasion, so is it present? Is it
Yeah.
past?
I don't have an experience that I went to Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
Potential past. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I've never been able to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, where to go? Yeah. So how about we study this with examples with with a bite size. So I have some sentences here. Let's start with I went to Japan.
日本に行った。
Everyone?
日
日
本に
本に行った。
Right, good. So that's it, right? So when we use this, have done something before, as you can see, you got to be super solid on the past tense. Right? Yeah. So that's why I wanted to start with went to Japan. So we all know how to say it and write it. Okay, so 日本に行った right? I've been to Japan before.
うん。
うん
日本に行ったことがあります。
Yeah. The plain form would be,
行ったこ
日
とがある。
本に行ったことがある。
yep, that's it. If you want to add the word before, I've been to Japan before. What's the word?
前。
前。
うん。
前。
日本に前行ったことがある。
Yeah, that's good. Probably having time before, when before though, before where might be better.
そう、
If
前、
we- yeah,
日本、okay.
but no one's gonna say, "Oh, that's weird," you know. Yeah.
うん。
Now make it a question.
日本に行ったことがありますか？
Yeah, that's it. And see, here's something. This is a question, right? So, in questions, most of the time, ga is replaced with wa.
うん。
日本に行ったことはありますか? Ga is still grammatically correct, but wa is much better.
うん。
I have a vague recollection of that. It's because it's it's a question.
Because it's a question. And
ことは。
yeah. Yeah, so I want you to know that after the koto, it doesn't always have to be the ga, the subject marker ga. It can also be wa.
Is
So
it comparison? Is it like the
contrast.
Contrast.
Because when someone asks you this question, have you ever been to Japan? You're probably in a certain environment, like in the meetup, or you just say even if it's not not at the meetup, maybe Patrick, meets with someone and tells them that, hey, I've been studying Japanese. And oh, cool. Have you been to Japan before? It's that kind of flow, right? So the theme, Japan is the theme, it has already been established. So now going to Japan is kind of natural, but the person's curiosity is more like Patrick's experience. Do you have the experience? Is there a time? So that's the arimasu ka. It's the second half, right? As opposed to the experience that you went to Japan. So when you use wa, 日本に行ったことは, that's the topic. And what comes after that is arimasu ka. By using the wa, the person who's asking the question is emphasizing on the arimasu ka. Is there, or do you have it? Because 日本に行ったことは the experience, the occasion that you went to Japan, it's somewhat kind of established just because of the flow of the conversation. If you think of the meetup, it's even easier to think of it. Everyone wants to know if you've been to Japan before. So that's a very common question that gets asked very often.
なるほど。
Yeah. So at the meetup, if someone said 日本に行ったことがありますか, that's not really as good.
うん。
It should be 日本に行ったことはありますか most of the
う
time.
ん
Yeah.
I think God's what's in my 自己紹介.
Yes.
Mhm.
So just I can't remember what you actually say.
まあ、まだ日本には行ったことがないんですけど、
Okay. Well, thank you, thank you. まあ、日本には、まあ、what is that again? Can you say it again? まあ、
まあ、まだ日本には行ったことがないんですけど、
まあ、まだ日本には行ったことはないんですけど、まあ、日本には、まあ、まだ日本には行ったことがないんですけど。Yeah, I remember like writing that. 日本には、まだ日本には行ったことはないんですけど。And what do you say after that? It kind of depends on the rest too.
来年の6月に、たすきさんのグループと一緒に行きたいと思っています。
Yeah, okay. I think because of that flow, what he says is that, so I've never been to Japan yet, but next June, I would like to go with Kazuki's group. So the focus is not so much like I've never been to Japan before, but it's more like I am thinking about going. And so never been to Japan before, but it's just like almost the introduction. It's not really the main part, just explaining the background briefly. So that's why it doesn't really need like a whole lot of contrast. Yeah. It can, I'll tell you this, it can also be the wa, topic marker wa too. 言ったことはないんですけど, you can do that too. It doesn't make a whole lot of like a big difference there. In fact, some people might prefer wa. It kind of depends on like what you might be thinking of, yeah, in your mind. Okay, so we have 日本に行ったことはありますか, right? Now, how to answer that? How to respond to it? Yes, I have. This, あります。はい、あります。Yeah.
あります。
あります。Yeah. ありますよ might be more natural in conversation. So this is interesting because you just say the last verb, あります. That's all you need to say. You don't need to say 日本に行ったことはあります. And if you want to say, no, I haven't.
いえ、ありません。or ありません。
Yeah. ありません or
ないです。
ないです。Yeah, that's it. ないです sounds a little bit more natural.
Could you say 違います instead of yeah?
No.
Okay.
That's a good question. 違います
Mistaken.
Yeah, literally.
Wrong.
違う is to differ. It is a verb. So 違う is used only to respond to a noun question. Yeah. So if someone asked Aaron in Japan, アロンさんはイギリス人ですか?
違います。
Do you know what it means? Aaron-san.
You asked me is it nigiri sushi?
No sushi here.
Are you an Englishman?
イギリス人.
Oh, イギリス人.
Yeah.
Okay. イギリス.
Then you would say, いや、違います. Yeah.
Only to a noun question, just like so des. There's
Yep. Yeah, so this is affirmative response for noun questions. So this you don't really want to remember it as it is, but more like that's correct. Okay.
Good review.
Yeah. Yeah, very important. Okay. How about we revisit a little bit of withdraw cash at a convenience store sentence. You guys remember the words? I think I have it at the top of today's notes too. Oh yeah, I still do.
下ろす。
Orosu is to withdraw.
そうです。
Remember
現金
cash? Yeah.
とコンビニ。
Oh yeah, convenient. Yeah.
コンビニ。Yeah. Withdraw. What was the sentence?
I'll withdraw cash at a convenience store.
コンビニで
で、
現金を下ろす。
That's it. コンビニで現金を下ろす。
現金
で、現金を
を
下ろす。
Yep, good. That was a good pronunciation, Thompson, by the way. Yeah, hi. Genkinyo. Yeah, that's major improvement. By the way, Rowdy-san, I met another Patrick who owns a K truck.
Oh, really?
He lives in Austin. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's too wild.
Ah,
I
Yeah.
once saw one in the parking lot at work.
Okay. And this guy, he got it registered too.
yeah,
Huh?
they changed the laws. You can do it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you bought it directly from Japan, right?
Yes.
So that's why you couldn't register it, right?
No, there was a short period of time, and it was the period of time when I bought these trucks where they were not allowing people to register it. And then I sold them, and then a couple months later, they said you can do it. So
Oh,
I just got it was just the worst timing. So,
So
it's legal now.
I see. So this Patrick, he bought it from someone else. So that's why he
Oh.
was able to register it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've seen some kid cars in Austin, kid trucks
Yeah.
including. Yeah.
They were doing it, and then they stopped, and then they're doing it again. So
I
it's all good now. We had all the paperwork, and we had to go through more of a process because we are the ones that imported them. If it was already imported, it's a lot easier.
So this guy's gonna turn the K truck into a coffee truck.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah. So one day we will probably be able to visit his truck.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
can you stand up inside the back of a Kia truck?
Well, the back is just a regular pickup.
Yeah, it's like a
So
truck bed.
yeah. So it's just a little bit more like smaller. That's all. So I don't know if he's gonna have like cover on the back or what, but yeah.
At least for his equipment.
Yeah.
Golf cart size, like tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun.
Like a
Yeah.
smart car, but a pickup.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the first sentence, right? So next one, oh yeah, I wanted to practice this one too. I will use a debit card at a convenience store.
コンビニでデビットカードを使います。
Good. How about the plain form?
使う。
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 Yep.
使う。
Yeah. コンビニでデビットカードを使う。That's it.
あ
Yeah.
使う。
Yeah.
使います。使う。 That's right.
Okay. Now, back to the verb to withdraw. I withdrew cash at a convenience store.
コンビニで現金をおろ、おろったの、おろした。
Yeah, 下ろした。
Hmm.
By the way, this is the new updated one
Mm.
to GFT2. Oh wow, last modified 2:15 a.m.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah, I was up late. So this is class 1. Oh, it's too big. Table. Looks pretty different, right?
Hmm.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
So orosu, since we were just talking about it, let's go over. So orosu is a class 1 verb,
Mhm.
and it's called godandoshi in Japanese,
Mhm.
meaning 5 grade verb. And the reason why it's called a 5 grade is because it changes the sound. So negative form, you would use a. The mass form, you would use e. Dictionary form is u. Imperative form,
Oh, I was
Yeah.
thinking 5
Yes.
subgroups.
yeah, and the volitional form is o. And then past ta form and the te form, it's the same. It's just 2 different vowels. And orosu is in the u, right? Dictionary form. And this number 4 indicates the subgroup. So orosu, past tense, oroshita.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, this is good. I like it.
thank
Yeah.
you. And then if you want to say you don't withdraw, you won't, then bring that to negative column right here, right? And orosa, aval, I'm like pointing at my own monitor, like you can see. Orosa, and then finally you add a night to it, orosanai.
Fun.
Yeah.
I, I I have questions, but I don't want to derail our
Oh,
class.
please get rowdy. For us.
I'm curious about the naide without ing.
Oh,
I
okay.
hear shanaide,
Uh-huh.
but the de always kind of I'm not sure I ever understood the
Yeah, okay.
purpose.
Yeah, so you always ask good questions. So 9 days there is probably the method there.
Mhm.
And so shinai de is without doing something. So what was the verb? Orosu or tsukau. Oh, orosu, right? So orosanai de would be without withdrawing. What can it be? Like he got on the train without withdrawing cash.
Mm.
Something like that. 降ろさないで電車に乗った would be he rode the train. And this ないで you can kind of treat it as the te form. So if you say 降ろさないでください means please do not withdraw cash.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard
So-
shanaide used by itself.
Yes. So しないで by itself, and the speaker just stopped right after the しないで. It is less formal version of しないでください. Please do
Ah.
not.
Please don't. Interesting.
Yeah.
Ah.
現金を下ろさないでください. Please do not withdraw.
Okay.
Yeah. デビットカードを使わないでください.
Please don't use your debit card.
Please don't use debit card.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. A lot of people, when between friends, 下ろさないで、使わないで, that's how people speak. minus the please.
Interesting.
And more formal version is the same thing without doing zuni. So tsukawa zuni or orosa zuni. Don't use without using nai. So just the sound R line sounds only. So it's what is it? Orosa, right? Zuni.
Zuni.
Yeah.
Orosazuni.
Yeah.
You still straight go up orasazuni.
Orosa, yes, the stress is the same for the nai form. Yeah.
This
I
is
don't
great.
remember ever hearing this before. This
Yeah.
is new stuff for me.
Yeah, that part's new. Zuni.
Yeah. So all these like I added these extra like bonus stuff. Yeah. But I did it only because I could do it like simply by using what's already there. Yeah. And having potential is pretty important, right? Because it's so useful. So potential actually it uses the imperative form. So ska u changes to ska a, right? So that means use it, imperative, command. When it's by itself, ska a. But when you add ru after that, it then becomes the potential. Ska eru can use. And it turns into intransitive class 2 verb. So ska eru. Potential, you just add nai to the a. Ska e nai, can't use. And same thing, but when you add ba after that, ska e ba, it becomes conditional if you use it, if you ever use it, kind of thing. Genkin o orose ba is if you withdraw cash. And then when you come to this five subgroups, and then here in this table, I had only the top past tense only. Te form is not there, but it's the same. Just change the ta to te, then you have the te form.
Or dot
If
to de.
yeah, da to de, exactly. So if when is past plus da.
Nice.
Yeah. So tsukau, for example, tsukatta, right? So tsukattara, if you use debit card. デビットカードを使ったら。
Oh.
It can also be, but depending on the context, it can be when. When
Yeah,
I
makes
used,
sense.
yeah. So it's kind of like once I've used, the action needs to be completed. Once I've used the debit card, this happened, kind of thing.
Okay. That answer, I was going to ask what the how to difference between ra and ba, but I think you just did it.
Yeah.
So ra, it has to have actually happened.
Exactly.
Conditional, it's still up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. So I like at first I just put conditional on both, but then even though this is like a simplified version, I like to make everything as clear as possible. So I just decided to put the simple translation for it. So if I say
if when we go to Japan.
Yeah.
This is really like, I feel like this is powerful. That's
Yay,
useful.
cool. And I even found a suggested past plus 方がいい。使ったデビットカードを使った方がいい is suggesting you should use a debit card. Literally, it means that it would be better if you used the debit card.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the Hogai.
How is
Yeah, that what do you call that? that
Lesson.
Yeah, I remember that.
so is that just like a nicer way of the was it the volitional? The
Well, volitional is not the same. Which part of volitional are you thinking about, though?
like isn't I think it's volitional. When you're asking, like suggesting should do something like
You remember
現金を
the,
現金を下ろそう
oh,
versus
wait. Oh, Genki Oroso is just let's withdraw cash though.
Mm.
That by itself, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
so then
oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Saying let's is suggestion too. Yeah. Okay. I get where you're coming from. Genki Orosha hoga ii. But let's withdraw cash is not the same as it would be better if we withdraw some cash, right? Similar, yeah. The idea might be similar. Maybe you're coming from have the same background as an idea, but
The suggestive
word.
seems to me more like the hogai feels more like a passive way of saying you should do it. Like it would be
Yeah.
better if the kind of the same way we say can't do. Right? Does that make sense? Rather than saying let's do it, it's more like, it'd be better if you did it this way, kind of thing.
Yeah. So we can use this for other people to act on certain things.
Mm.
Yeah. So 運動する is to exercise. 運動した is a past tense, exercised. 運動した方がいいですよ. You should exercise.
Yeah, it would be better if you exercised.
Yeah. And especially when you already do a lot of exercise, you're telling the person to exercise.
Mm.
Yeah. And then after doing something, in that case, without using the te form, the past tense, use the te and the あるから. So デビットカードを使ってから would be after using the debit card.
The third form of kara.
Third form, yes.
I don't know if I've ever used it.
Can you give is that like before and after? Like, can you give me a full sentence using that tekara?
Okay, so I will get on the train after withdrawing some cash. 現金を下ろしてから電車に乗ります。
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, kara, if it's placed after a place, it's from the place, right? It can even be time, from a certain time, from 3 o'clock or something like that. But the idea is kind of similar. From the action withdrawing, then the next step is going to be getting on the train. So if you kind of look at it like that, yeah, it might help.
Te, though. Te.
Right. But people often say that te form is the simplest way to explain the te form is just ing form, withdrawing. Not so much like I am withdrawing cash.
Form.
Yeah.
Not tacking that on to the past tense.
Right. Yeah. Past tense has nothing to do with it here. After doing something. Yeah.
Well, that's confusing in this table then.
Yeah. So that's why I just put te plus kara here. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
The other ones that doesn't say te.
That's right. You've got a plus in.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the class 1 table. And
wow.
Yeah, so I included all of these extra bonus stuff in, and here's notes for class 1 verbs. Subgroups and the past form of to go and negative form.
The
how to make it. Yeah. And the verb aru changes to nai kind of stuff. And the pitch accent. Now I started to call it pitch accent, not stress and intonation. Yeah. There's a lot of YouTubers have started to use the term. Yeah, I think it's better. So pitch accent, the pattern, like a kaku changes to kakanai. Yeah. And you changes to yuwanai. And the general conjugation rule is like e adjective. If you want to make it negative, so yuwanai, yuwanakatta. Not say, didn't say. So, and then pitch accent with the past tense. Kaku changes to kaita. Strong stress stays on the same spot. Hanasu to hanashita. And yu, yutta stays the same. Kau, kata, same. If it's weak, like a flat accent. So, and then you have class 2 verb here. And the patterns of class 2 here all explained here. It always ends with ru. And in front of ru is always either e or a vowel sound, like taberu, miru, oshieru, so forth. And this one actually, it doesn't always happen, but if you know, I think it helps. So taberu, when you look at the word, ta is the kanji. And then it's followed by hiragana, beru. So the be is outside of the kanji, right? So that pattern happens very often with the class 2 verbs. But the verb to enter, hairu, the letter before the ru is e, right? So you might think that is actually a class 2 verb because it's e vowel in front of the ru. But the kanji is hai. And then you add hiragana ru.
So you know it's not a class 2.
Right. So it's class 1. So that's why it's hairu changes to hairimasu. The mas form.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not guaranteed, but I think it happens more than not.
It's a good guess. It's the better guess on that side.
Yeah. So it's often not part of the kanji. So here with the class 2 verbs, it's super simple. Almost like a stem kind of rules that changes. Stem plus nai is negative form. Taberu changes to tabenai, right? Stem is just tabemasu. The dictionary form is tabe plus ru, taberu. Imperative form is tabero. And the volitional is tabeyo.
Yo.
Yeah. Tabeyo, let's eat. And then tabeta is a past tense, ate. Tabete is te form. So without doing, tabenai de. The former one, tabezu ni. It's actually stem plus zuni in this one. So it's not the same pattern as class 1. Potential, if you use the stem, tabe plus rareru. La is almost very often is dropped. So tabereru is what you hear often. Potential negative, can't eat would be taberarenai. Conditional, tabereba, if you eat. And the if when is the same. Past plus ra. Suggestive, past, ta hoga ii, tabeta hoga ii, you should eat. It would be better if you ate. After doing is the same, te plus kara. And then class 3, fukisoku doshi, only 2 verbs. So shinai. And without doing and that kind of stuff, they have their own forms. So they need to be memorized.
質問があるんですけど、
はい。
Why not passive on here? Why don't you have passive?
Passive takes a little bit more conjugation. So I couldn't include them. Yeah.
Is that what page 8's for?
Page what?
Page 8?
Page. Yeah, or maybe later. Because I'm gonna give some examples too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I decided to not include examples after each class.
Mm.
Yeah, like each after class 1, class 2, class 3, because then it gets so much bigger. Yeah.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Can't wait to try it out.
Thank you. And maybe I can get your opinion. Do you think this page class 3 table does the color help? I want the main part, the plain verb conjugation. It's just shinai shimasu suru no shiro.
Yeah, that was obvious
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
to me.
Oh, my printer cooperates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Definitely
these
helps.
guys, yeah, okay, cool. And the bonus is in between. Okay.
Yeah, I like that you didn't the cells not included on the second rows. That first column so it's like it's part of that, the top, the blue row.
Uh-huh.
It's more information for the blue rows.
Yeah. And here I didn't include potential negative because after explaining class 2 verbs, and if I say potential is intrinsic class 2, just make it negative. You already know class 2.
Dekinai.
Dekinai, yeah.
Kinai.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's almost time.
Mm.
So we should do this, the rest of the sentences as homework.
The review sentences?
No, this sentences 2, withdraw cash, those sentences. And you have some sentences like I've withdrawn cash at a convenience store before, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I've never withdrawn cash at a convenience store.
Mm.
And I could use a debit card. I could use a debit card at a convenience store. So that's
they are different.
Yeah.
I thought they sounded like the old ones, the ones we've done before.
Yeah. And
They're
while
different.
I was updating this table, have done this table, I realized there is a way to say have been able to. So that's potential past. And then add ことがある、ことがない。So 2i, sentence 2i, I've been able to use a debit card at a convenience store before. Right. But then 2j, I've never been able to use a debit card at a convenience store. So that's different. Yeah, change the aru to nai. But last one, 2k, I've always been able to use debit card at a convenience store. This actually, you can say it with double negative. There's never been a time that I couldn't use my debit card before. Yeah.
Is that helping for our Japanese translation?
Yeah. The blue sentence is helping. And people actually sometimes talk like this. In English, it kind of changes the translation. But still, you're using there is never been. So that's present perfect. But the rest starts to sound a little bit more like literal translation. There's never been a time that I couldn't use my debit card before. So, yeah. So that might be interesting to tackle as homework. 今日はここまでですね。
ありがとうございまし
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。じゃあ、
また土曜日。
じゃあ
はい。
土曜日
じゃあまた、
お
パトリックさんは
じゃあ
来週。